Hi! Oh my god. Why do I... This outfit was supposed to make me look like I have a film degree, because I do, but instead I look like an interpretive dance teacher. Oh my god. This is what happens when I try to do fashion. I try to serve looks. Instead, I'm over here. Hi. Strong start. Regretting our fashion choices. But today for our knitting corner. Knitting corner, I've never called it that. I'm out of breath because I'm excited now. We're gonna be knitting a little headband. I'm plugging away at that while I discuss if I think my film degree is worth it now that it's been nearly 5 years since I graduated with it. Okay, let's get started. Is this recording correct? I say, I'm a film major. I literally work in the industry. Is it recording? I don't know. Is my degree worth it? I don't think I'm selling that to everybody. Overall, I say yes. But I thought a lot about if I wanted to do film versus chemistry. Basically 2 years was bouncing back and forth between those two options until it was time to decide. Now, if you're asking, why didn't you major in chemistry, Kerry? Isn't there more job security? Couldn't you have been one of the chemists to develop vaccines? Like, maybe. But it was actually my high school chemistry teacher that ended up having the conversation with me that made me settle onto a decision. She asked me to picture myself in the future and describe what I wanted out of my career. I told her how I wanted to be very hands-on, physically involved in my job at the very beginning, and then work my way up into something that's a little bit more managerial or intellectual, creative. She then asked me if I saw myself sitting in a lab, the same lab, every day for like 8 hours a day. And I'm pretty sure by the look on my face told her that I wasn't that excited to do that. She then gave me great advice saying, follow your passion and what you love, and money and success will follow because it's more fun to put in the hard work for something that you love. And the hard work becomes easy when you love what you're doing. I also took summer classes in film for credit to see if it was something that I wanted to study or if it was just like a fun hobby. And those classes made me realize how much I loved film production. I think it also made my mom realize that I really had a passion for it, because when I came back home after taking those classes, I was just like, I want to do this every day for the rest of my life. And I think that's what sold her. I'm not entirely sure, but she was very supportive after that. When it comes to a film degree, I would say that your choice of school and the program specifically really do make a difference. I didn't want the school of my choice to push me into one area specifically of television or film production. I wanted to be well-rounded, and I'm thankful that the program that I chose allowed you to do that if you wanted to, or become very specialized and pigeonhole in one area. I'm so thankful because I went into school thinking I wanted to be an editor, and now that may be one of my least favorite parts of filmmaking. And anyone that knows me and that went to school with me knows how much I did not like editing while in school, and how much now it's not my favorite. Like, I'm totally went into a different direction than what I thought I was going to, and the flexibility of the program I chose allowed me to do that without any road bumps. So in college, I fell in love with like gripping, lighting design, and cinematography, which are totally different than editing, and that I thought, nah, not for me, but here we are. I also liked being like a first AD. It allowed me to be bossy and organized and everyone's point person, which made me feel important. Yeah, the program I chose allowed you to be well-rounded. Your core classes that you had to take were out of my comfort zone, but it's what allowed me to discover what I really liked and how each piece of filmmaking comes together in the end and how each one is important. But then the school also had classes that allowed you to find your niche, what you really were passionate about, and grow in that specific area. So my program did prepare me for my career, which is kind of the point of going to college or university. But if you want to work in the film or TV industry, you don't have to have a degree. I know many people that are successful in the industry that don't have more than a high school education. That's because they put themselves out there as soon as they graduated and worked their way up through the system. Because you will learn the most from actually going out and getting experience. You can learn as much as you want to out of books and from projects and things in class, but you're working with the same people who have all learned the same things as you did. On the other hand, there are many companies now that want you to have a degree to be hired. It seems as though getting a college degree is becoming equivalent to what a high school degree was 30 years ago or more. Like, if you read job applications, many of them will say, have a degree in this or equivalent experience. You don't need to have a degree, but it can help you get into companies that, you know, have benefits and out of the freelance world, if that's what you want, earlier with less on-set experience. I personally find my film degree was worth it because it did give me the knowledge base and on-set experiences due to the nature of my program, but it gave me more than that. It gave me a well-rounded skill set that allowed my outside experiences to build on. Also, I went to a liberal arts college, so that allowed me to take classes and learn stuff that was outside of my major that I had interest in, even some things that I didn't think I had interest in but got really passionate about. College teaches you more than what you may encounter when you first step into the film industry. Like, I have an arsenal of social skills and business skills that I don't think I would have acquired if I didn't go to college. Even just professional skills and the resources colleges give you to do that. They had a whole career development center where I took my resumes and cover letters, but that was a resource that they didn't make you use. You had to choose to use it. And that's just the other benefit of going to college in general, is that you're not just paying for your classes, you're paying for all the resources that become available to you as a student. And it is your choice to utilize those resources or to not. And I definitely didn't utilize every resource that was available to me, but you're only there for a few years. There's only so much you can do, but I think I did well. I also loved college. The social life that's involved in college is kind of where I thrived. I'm kind of introverted, but also kind of extroverted. So I loved living with a bunch of people, and I liked being around a bunch of people when I wanted to. I loved the social life that I had in college. I had grown in so many ways, not just in education, but my whole personality kind of became who it was, because high school experiences, like, you're in one small environment. Going to college, you're surrounded by a whole bunch of different people who had a whole bunch of different life experiences up to that point, and you're all together and you're all learning and playing together. So college was totally worth it to me in just the personal social growth that I was able to take from it. So do you need a film degree? No. Does it help? It can. Going to college allowed me to make professional connections that I may not have otherwise. I now know many people that work throughout the country and even the world that work in the industry and that I have this connection with because we went to the same college. I was also able to intern at a company while I was studying there, and eventually that became the company that I work for now. You know, I had my foot in the door, I was able to get a job, and now I work there full time. To wrap it all up, I think my degree was worth it to me. It might not be worth it to you, but to me, it was absolutely worth it. Not only did it prepare me professionally, but it allowed me to grow personally from a timid little teenager to a confident young woman who is ready to take on the world. So my advice to anybody that may be thinking about getting a film degree is do your research, see if it's worth it to you. Don't just think about the program, although that should be your main reason to go to college, but also see if you are the type of person that would thrive in that environment. But do your research on the program, see if it fits in with what you want to do. You can always change your major. You can always change your school. I was lucky enough that the school that I went to fit so well with what I wanted from it. For me, worth it. For you, it might not be. But if you don't ask the questions, you will not know. Film and television is fun. It's not gonna change the world, but I think a lot of people in the last year realized how important television and movies are. When everything kind of shut down, people really relied on watching stuff and that escapism that allows, or even just with like news broadcasting is still television. In times of crisis, you rely on your artists. And although it feels weird for me to say that I'm an artist, and that what I do is making art, people watch things to either learn or to escape. And not everybody can do it, baby. You're skilled. I'm skilled. And I'm still dressed like an interpretive dance teacher. Get a film degree if you want it. If you don't want it, don't do it. That's all I gotta say. Mine was worth it. Bye, baby. Jazz hands.